When you sit in front of families and you're telling them for sometimes the first time that what happened to you wasn't your fault and that we believe you, and you just see this weight just lift just a little bit, you'll never do anything else. What surprises a lot of people about coming to the center, when you think of an agency that investigates child sexual abuse, you think of SAD, you think of a police station. And what surprises people is when you first arrive at the center, you get greeted by our overly friendly staff, just so happy and so excited to see the families that we serve. You get to meet our facility dog, Bacon, who is a loving, wonderful, fun dog who loves to love on kids and love on families.
He helps me calm down whenever I'm having trouble trying to speak. I would just pet him and then I would start calming down and then I will just tell what I need to say.
Families get to meet with one of our forensic interviewers. When you think about what a child has to go through to report a crime of sexual assault, you think of having to meet with a police officer in the blue uniform with the gun on their hip and the badge on their chest. But they get to talk to somebody who looks just like their mom, or just like their teacher that they talk to about maybe this for the first time. Law enforcement and CPS can observe behind that one-way mirror so that they can be looped in on all of those important details about the disclosure, and then the child never has to talk about it more than once. That's the first time that they get to share it, and that's where it gets to stay.
The CAC, it's really sad that it's needed, but it's really amazing that it's here. We have a really, really great team that will really go dig in deep for these investigations to make sure that if there's abuse happening, that it's stopped.
While they're here with an advocate, they'll sit down with the caregivers and help them understand each step of the process. Sometimes what feels so intimidating about this process is just the ins and outs of all the different systems, and you have an expert sitting right there with you from the very beginning to when your case is over with. After your forensic interview, kids have the opportunity to go to therapy, and they'll meet with one of our awesome therapy staff who are the experts in treating post-traumatic stress disorder. When they meet with a therapist, they get to know that what happened to them wasn't their fault and that we believe them, and the healing journey starts to begin. The first thing that we do is we normalize that the way that our bodies respond to trauma is not us being bad kids. We learn to go back to our normal state of regulation, and so we'll use progressive muscle relaxation, which is where you tense and relax each part of your body, and we tie it with this really cool visualization of these bubbles that'll float down over the tops of the kids. We do it enough, we practice it enough, just the imagery of those bubbles will help our body attune to that inner felt sense of safety. We create these note cards full of all the things their offender said to them or all the thoughts that they had about the abuse. We don't say these thoughts aren't true. We just look at each individual one and we decide if they're true or not. One of the cards might be like, it was my fault because I only said no one time. And so we look at that thought and we go, is this true? And once we've deconstructed that thought and we've decided that it's not the truth and it's a lie, and we shred all of the note cards up and we make this beautiful collage, a mosaic, a reminder of whose fault it is. We have these little piles of shaving cream and we paint them with the colors of each feeling, and we talk about, when was the last time you felt loved, or when was the last time that you felt disgust? What does it feel like to feel love for someone and disgust at what they did? It's a really transformative activity, and sometimes we even come up with new words for those emotions because we don't have words for those kinds of feelings, but we need them. The trauma narrative is a really important piece of therapy, and so this is an opportunity for kids to talk about the worst part of their trauma narrative. And kids do it in lots of fun different ways. You can write it as a story, you can make it a song, you can make it a dance. It's really just about processing how you felt. And then the really powerful part of the trauma narrative is that they get to share that with their caregiver. Kids get to light it on fire, and that's always just the fun piece of feeling finished with a story. We can also bury the ashes in the sand, a pit outside. The most fulfilling pieces of my role are when I get to sit in front of families and tell them it's not your fault for maybe the first time that they've ever heard that. That's the kind of world that I want to live in, is that shame and secrecy are not the standard, but healing and hope are.